Alrighty, so we are back with another Ultimate Clash walkthrough slash guide slash mode breakdown. This video is going to be divided into multiple sections, and I will leave it in the pinned comment each section that you want to go through. So with these guides, what I like to do is explain what you're doing in the mode, where your account needs to be in order to do so, and just kind of make sure everybody's on the same page so that way you can clear the mode efficiently and understand what you need to do. Now, if you understand how the mode works and maybe you're looking for what teams to set up and you want to go to that process, you can go to that timestamp in the comment section below. Or if you just want to skip all that, you understand how it works, and you just want to see the gameplay and stuff like that, you can go ahead and skip to that as well. But if you're going to watch this video all the way through, I very much appreciate that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So Ultimate Clash slash Dokkan Battlefield, pretty simple setup that you have to understand. It's based on varying levels of difficulty, and with those varying levels of difficulty, you are going to be fighting specific bosses, very similar to how we do traditional Dokkan fights, but the format is going to be a little bit different, where we go from level 1 to level 2 to level 3, and then there's going to be 2 fights in the first level, there's going to be 3 fights in the second level, and then there's going to be 5 fights in the third level. So the way that you want to do this is build as many teams as you possibly can. I forget the exact limit off the top of my head. I know the character limit, I believe, is 112. And so if we go into here, what we can do is specifically filter out and make some teams. So that is what we are going to be doing, specifically building character teams and stuff like that. Now, the biggest tip that I can give you guys for making your Battlefield teams, honestly, is logging and writing down or typing it out, putting it in your notes app, putting it in Microsoft Word, Notepad, whatever you need to use. This is the best way for you to be able to stay on top of how you are playing the mode. So when it comes to building teams, that is what you want to do. You want to build very good category teams where type advantage used to sort of be the meta in this mode, and you could still technically say it is, but the way that I like to do it and a lot of others like to do it is to build teams based on categories now, because this mode was not designed with multiple 170 to 200 to 220% leaders per category. So that is something that we need to keep in mind. So what you are going to want to do is build as many teams as you can. You guys can see here, we have to build teams to the point where we have 112 characters, or you could just do the bare minimum that you need to do every fight. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of jump cutting here, but I'm going to tell you each team that I'm going to make, and then I'm going to tell you who's on it, and then I'm going to write it down so that way I do not forget who I'm using later on. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started and make the first team, which is going to be movie bosses. Now, we are not going to be using movie bosses in the first fight. We'll get into that a little bit later. But with this team, this is a very simple setup. We just want to bring our Brolys. So we go Broly, and then we want to bring this Broly as well, because this is going to work out pretty well. Then we want to bring the Tech Broly. We want to bring, we could bring Bio Broly. I want to bring Janemba. Then I want to bring, who else do I want to bring? I'm going to bring this Tech Janemba. And then last but not least, we're going to bring the Int Janemba. So that is the first team that we have here. So let me go ahead and jump cut here, write that down so that way we know exactly who we're using. Okay, so the first team has been made. Now, the next teams we want to make are our handy-dandy free-to-play teams. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have these characters done. Hopefully you do. The free-to-play Ginyu Force team, you can use the Dokkan Fest if you want, but you don't need to. For the sake of making this guide a little bit faster, I'm going to be using them. But again, you can run both of these free-to-play LRs, and it will work out fine for you. Battlefield is not too bad. So that is the second team we want to build here, the Ginyu Force, and I don't need to cut for this one. We can go to the next team, which I'm sure you guys can predict is going to be Team Bardock. So for Team Bardock, what we want to do, this one will focus a little bit more on the free-to-play side of things, but what we want to do is run him, and if you guys have this Bardock, this is pretty helpful. You can run him as well, or you could run the AGL Dokkan Fest Bardock isn't on here because he goes Super Saiyan. Which is ironic because you're right here. I forget. I think the AGL one's not here because of the the special that he's a part of. And then this Bardock is just a game original, so the game does serve, like, they just kind of view him a little bit differently, right? Because, like, you might be saying here, where the hell is AGL Bardock? And honestly, I don't know. It's just the weird way that they make the rules of the game. So we're just going with the more summonable side of things, but you can definitely just go with the free-to-play characters. I promise you, it might take a little bit longer, but it will work just fine. So there we go. We have our third team set up here. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, so the next team I'm going to be making is Majin Buu Saga. Now, this one you definitely want to write out specifically who you're going to be bringing because there's going to be some overlap with other categories. So the first character that I'm going to be bringing for Majin Buu Saga is going to be Gotenks. The second character I'm going to be bringing is going to be STR Vegito. I'm going to be bringing the Angel Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, and then we are going to be bringing some of the other Easy A's from the New Year's celebration, basically. It was basically right around there, right? That's kind of where I remember that with the Super Saiyan 2 Goku and the Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. These characters are going to work just fine in here, and then we just want to find two other characters who can work out pretty well for us. Let's go ahead and bring Ultimate Gohan, and then last but not least, we will bring Tech Ultimate Gohan, and that will round out the Buu Saga team. So let me write that one down so that way we know exactly who we're bringing, and that's going to be the setup for this team right here. Okay, so that is going to be the fourth team that we need. Now let's go ahead and move to Universe Survival Saga. Now with this one, I get to break out a new toy that I did not have the last time I played this one, and that is going to be AGL Jiren, as well as the new Caulifla. So we want to go Evolution Blue Vegeta, we want to go Jiren. Both of our UI Gokus will go Evolution Blue Vegeta. We'll go Caulifla. And then last but not least, we will bring... who's going to be good for this? We'll bring Goku and Frieza. So that's going to be the fifth team here. And then we still have some overlap and some other characters that we could definitely bring later. But I think this is kind of the setup that I want to go with because we're going to have a 200% for Universe Survival Saga as well as a 220% for Universe Survival Saga. So let me go ahead and write this one down and we'll be back with the next team. Okay, so the next team I want to run is Super Bosses. So who we're going to bring is AGL Broly. We are also, this is Movie Bosses, isn't it? We want Super Bosses. Where are you at? Right there. Sometimes I mess that one up, but we want Broly. We want Zamasu. We want to bring Cell Max. We want to bring the Broly Trio. Then we want to bring three more characters here. Let's go with the physical TUR Rose because we never really get to use him. We'll bring Int Hit because he's also a newer character. We'll just kind of get some mileage on those characters. And then last but not least here, who do I feel like using? We'll go with the Kale and Caulifla Easy A. I don't really think that makes a ton of sense, but we'll go with it for like a Universe 6 rotation. So Super Bosses is the next team we're going to make. Let's move on. Fitting that we go over to the superheroes now for instead of super bosses. So now when we go over to superheroes, things are going to look a little bit different. We're going to go Beast Gohan. We're going to run with the Gammas because they have a pure 200%. We're going to bring Orange Piccolo on this setup. We are going to bring some other goodies as well. Just kind of scrolling through, seeing who I want to use here. I think that the AG or STR Gamma 1 is a very good character that we can get away with running here. We can bring Gamma 2, and then we need two more. So I'm thinking who I want to save. Let's go with the 5-year fusions for superheroes. I think that'll be kind of fun. So that is the 7th team. We just need to make a few more, and then we will be good to go. I think from this point on, you guys kind of understand the process I'm going to be going with here. So we're just going to continue to move. So I'll be back when I build all of my teams, and then you will see them later on in the gameplay portion. But hopefully you guys do understand that is how the team building process works here. You guys can see I'm just going through my categories, and then I'm picking the best characters from these categories, sort of weaseling my way in, trying to get as much as I can out of each team, and then building the best one possible from those categories. So we will be back with the gameplay. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, but let's move on to the next section of this video, which is actually playing. Okay, so we have done everything we need to do. We've built our teams. You guys can see it's pretty evenly spread minus STR. But now what we want to do is get into the actual gameplay portion of this mode. And it's pretty simple. You guys can see I like to make a little GT Bosses team as a backup. But now what we want to do is have our list of teams ready to go. And the first characters that we are going to be using are the Team Bardock squad. No, we'll go Ginyu Force first. So the Ginyu Force team, if I remember correctly, in my initial run, I did get caught using this squad. Not because they're not good, it was just an unlucky sort of situation. And this Devilman can actually hit pretty hard with his super attack, so we do need to consider that. And hopefully we get a debuffer right away, and we do not. But we actually have a pretty safe situation right here where we just want to go all in, right? Damage is everything here, and what we're going to be able to do is put Jason Birder there in slot 3, and they have a pretty good chance of dodging that super attack, so that's going to be very helpful for us. So now we're going to be able to go through this and sort of just take it stage by stage by stage, and you guys can see the damage here is not going to be great, but once we get like that type advantage super going, we get the crits going, we get the real damage sort of flowing here, you're going to see a pretty big difference in the overall quality of damage there. I do remember pretty vividly that this Devilman does hit pretty hard. I'm pretty interested to see that. This Ginyu team is about to get a whole lot better with the EZAs coming up, but there is still a little bit of a ways to go for that. They did get teased. I didn't do a video on it. I figured you guys all kind of knew what was going on, but here we go. So Jason Berger actually do need to dodge this, and they did not, and we lost. So that is sort of how these things can go. What you want to do is debuff the Devilman, right? And now what we want to do is just retire and try it again, right? These things can happen, and I think I'm actually kind of happy that that happened in the video because we took an L. So now what we need to do is hop right back in and just do the same thing we did, keep the teams we built. Nothing, the run went wrong. It wasn't the process, it was just the actual RNG of the run. So if we do end up losing this next one, obviously we'll cut it, but these types of things can happen when you're playing this mode. So again, a high emphasis when I said, you guys remember about 3 minutes ago when I said I want a debuffer? That is why. That's why we want Raccoon Goldo on this rotation. And guess what we got? We got Goldo. And if you guys don't know, this Goldo does everything, right? He seals, he stuns, does all types of fun stuff. So as long as that comes through, and we'll see it on the top when the super comes through, yeah, he gets hit with everything. So this is going to be pretty helpful for us. There we go. He's stunned, he's sealed, he's attack lowered, he's defensive lowered. That is exactly what we need to get through this, ultimately through this Devilman boss. Now, I think overall, the better team to use for this specific fight, and I kind of messed this one up because I wanted to save the better team for later because they just have a higher ceiling unit with the LR Super Saiyan Bardock. I think the Team Bardock character would actually be better for this specific fight because you could go in here and actually use like the, what's it called? The Int Team Bardock that does have a pretty hard hitting super. Just because they have type advantage, right? Like that's really what it comes down to. But now we have Raccoon and Goldo, and they're going to do a pretty decent chunk of damage for us here. Not damage, but a chunk of debuffing. And you guys can see Devilman is still stunned, he's still sealed, and I guess he has like a one-hitter quitter sort of super is his gimmick, right? So it's like you just have to work around the super. It's like a level 3 boss where you just want to keep hitting him with the debuffs. That he's staying sealed, he cannot super, and ultimately that is going to make sure that we do not lose, right? Devilman has a sort of canon gimmick where he's just going to one-shot you if he does hit you, and that's sort of the fun of the Devilman fight, if you will. So now that we have that out of the way, we can get to work with actually doing the damage, actually taking down his HP, and we're going to be able to get through this. So that's pretty good. And now, again, he is not sealed anymore, but again, this is why we have Goldo around. So we could sort of take our time just a tad and go through all of this right here with the sort of process of going through this. So a lot of these fights are going to be a little bit quicker. This is just a really dated team, right? The newest character on here is this AGL Captain Ginyu, and then his EZA is coming up. So it's like we're just sort of cruising here, right? We're going 35 in the 45, right? But you know, it's just going to take a little bit, so we'll be okay. Just going to take a little bit to get through with this damage. Hopefully when we have these LRs linked up with each other on the next turn, I believe, that'll be our real chance to deal some damage here. Having Raccoon and Goldo around is obviously nice as well. But Tech Goldo, you guys can see, more than doing his job here, taking away Devilman's ability to do the damage to us. So that is very important. Now, what we want to do is link these two up with each other, and you guys are going to see the damage is going to ramp up because we have good link sets. We have legendary power going. That's going to help with the damage on the super attack. So now that we're able to do all of that, it's just going to work out a little bit nicer for us. 2 million there from Raccoon and Goldo, no good, but this team, especially for battlefield purposes, is about to get a whole lot better because these banner units and Tech Captain Ginyu or AGL Captain Ginyu are going to become much, much better. 2025 level power creep is coming for them, so it's going to make battlefield much, much easier when we do end up getting those characters, and it's going to be pretty soon. I know I'm talking about it a lot, but it's important to note. So there we go. Took a little bit to get through that. Again, I would say run Team Bardock for that stage, so you guys just know. It's just going to be a little bit easier for you. Taking 3 minutes on level 1 is not exactly what we are looking to do. We're looking to move through these early stages pretty quick. So Team Bardock, what we're going to be looking for against Catolepsa, however the hell you say it, we are going to go with Team Bardock, and then we are going to bring this team like this. We bring you, and we just set it up like this. So who we are mainly looking for is physical Basha, as well as the physical LR Bardock here, so we can just one-shot this Bardock. So this is a perfect situation. We'll put the Int Team Bardock in the front, and then physical Bardock here is going to, any word of destruction you want to use is what's going to happen here to this boss here, the Toon Rami, if you will. Because I think that's his display picture, isn't it, for Dokkan? I think. It might not be. I could be talking out of my ass, but I know Goresh picked him up with the Purunga Wish because it was the only character he needed. That was really funny. But there we go. See, we didn't even need the type advantage. Team Bardock much better than the Ginyu Force for Battlefield, but again, that is going to be changing very, very soon. So level 1 is out of the way. Now, what we are going to be doing is adjusting and using some of our teams that are not going to be... What really I think this is going to come down to being a challenge is what team do I want to use first. So I think the first team I'm going to use here, and you guys might be able to hear it. I'm grabbing my little piece of paper I did to write down my team. The first team we're going to be doing is Super Bosses. So with Super Bosses, I wrote that I have AGL Broly, I have Zamasu, I have Cell Max, I have Rose, I have the Broly Trio, I have Kale and Caulifla, I believe. I wrote that down. Super Bosses, yep, and then I have Hit. So 7 characters here, 612,000 HP, very nice for Battlefield. And if we get AGL Broly slot 1 paired up with like Zamasu here, we are going to be in business. We did not, but we're still going to be able to do some decent damage. So when it comes to linking partners, I know it's bizarre to not link Goku Black here, but I think using Zamasu with Big Bad Bosses as well as Legendary Power here is just going to give us a little bit more damage from Zamasu. Now, Zamasu is 79%? 79%. I haven't put orbs on him. I don't know what to put on him, honestly. I got to do that. But he is link level, right? I just haven't put orbs on him. So 7 million there, nothing too crazy. Hopefully Cell Max does help us out a little bit in the damage department as well. But you guys can see Zamasu is putting in some pretty good work there, doing like half his HP with 1 super. And that is what it's going to be looking like more or less until we get to the end here, where my characters are, these are like actually good summonable link level characters. I know Zamasu doesn't have orbs, but that's basically what it's going to be looking like. So we just did superheroes, or not superheroes there. We did super bosses with that one. Now, the next team I think I'm going to use, we have a physical boss here. Let's go with Demonic Power. So I built a Demonic Power team with Glorio and Slug, and who I wrote down here was Glorio himself, Slug, Harudagarn. We have the Int Super Easy A Gohan. We have Demon King Piccolo. We have Physical Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and then the Family Kamehameha character. A little bit messy of a team, but it will definitely work for Battlefield, especially if we get Slug right away. Running a pure Demonic Power team is going to be very good for that Lord Slug and his domain and such. So right here, we did not get that, but we do have type advantage and guard with this Gohan, so that's going to work out fine. And I'm trying to work around the Int Orb so I can save those for this Gohan, but honestly, I don't think we're going to see this Gohan. So we're going to do that. This is going to work out just fine, as long as he doesn't super slot 1. He's only doing 100 damage. It doesn't really matter. So 6 million damage there from Gohan, not too bad. Just again, trying to make sure we hold on to our really, really good teams until the end. I know this Demonic Power team is good, but we have a lot of hard hitters on this team here. So I think the next one we're going to use is Majin Buu Saga. No. I don't know what I want to do. We have a lot of good teams here. Like, it's kind of tough to pick which one I want to use. So, again, having them, writing them down like this just makes our life a little bit easier. I think with this one, we're going to go Majin Power. So if we go down here to Majin Power, and again, you don't have to use all your teams, but you want to make as many as you possibly can, so that way you have the best chance of winning. So with Majin Power, we're going to do something like this. This is all going to work out. I think I could actually do this. Would that give us more HP? Yeah, it would, just because we have the extra 200% there. Okay. So we're going to have Demonic Power, we're going to have Majin Power going, Majin Buu Saga, all of that fun stuff here. Super Easy A Buu is about to go to town. That's what you're about to see. So get his 3 rainbow orbs. He's going to be absolutely fine in slot 1. Kid Buu is giving him that wicked support as well as Big Bad Bosses link. This is going to work out just fine for us here. And we're going to be able to go pretty well. So this is looking good. This has been a pretty promising run so far. But again, with Battlefield, this is kind of a fluky mode where you take 1 super. The problem is you're, 50 million damage there. That's pretty good. The thing with Battlefield, right, is that you just get caught with a super and then you got to do all this again, right? You don't have to build your teams again, but you got to play level 1 to level 2 again. So it's like, see it as like the Festival of Battles, where it's like you do all of these phases, and then if you lose, you got to go all the way back to square 1, where not really much is going on. So level 3, I will rip the band-aid off. We are saving the 10-year anniversary team for last. So I'm sure you guys can understand why I'm doing that. It's not a you know, it's not rocket science. So the first team we're going to be using here is Universe Survival Saga, and we're going to be testing out the new Kale and Khalifa in here. I think that could be fun potentially. We might be able to see them. We have a lot of slot 1 options and a lot of fun stuff there. So almost 800,000 HP for this team, looking very, very nice. So we'll see. How is this going to be working out? We have maybe the worst opening rotation luck of all time with the way that this is set up, but we're going to have 7 orbs for Evolution Blue Vegeta. That's going to be very good for us here. We have Goku Frieza, who will be fine in that spot right here, and then we are going to be able to get the 23 key there with you. So I forgot that Gohan and Piccolo can lock, so that's kind of annoying, but having 20 million with type advantage here is going to be pretty damn good for us. So that's going to be pretty helpful. And again, just sort of looking at the list, I'm trying to debate on which team I want to use next. You guys can see that these guys do have a lot more HP than the last set of bosses that we've seen, because a 20 million super probably just would have put a level 2 boss in the dirt, but not a level 3 boss like we're seeing right here with Gohan and Piccolo. So next up, I am thinking Majin Buu Saga or... yeah, I think Majin Buu Saga is probably next. And then we got movie bosses as well. And you guys could see this Goku and Frieza, them being rainbowed is really nice because of doing stuff like this. Like, Goku and Frieza just put in work. Like, they just one-turned them, right? So that's, you know, it's kind of funny how I got super unlucky on that banner, pulling them 6 times. But my mic decided to fall on me. Let's reset real quick. Let me reset this up real quick. Okay, we should be good to go. So next up on the list, we are going to be looking at the movie bosses team here. And we want to go right here, movie bosses. And again, this time we actually don't need to check the list because they're all here for us. So this is going to be a pretty solid setup here. No AGL, but that should be okay because crits are sort of going to be the name of the game here, right? Dodging supers as well with characters like Janemba. So now you guys can see here we have the Broly domains. This is going to be very important. This is something that's just going to make this run a lot easier. Having the Not That They Village domain up is just going to make it a lot easier for this Broly to put in work for us. And we're going to get some initial damage off the start, and this guy can be sealed. So what we want to do is put physical Janemba in slot 2, so that way we can trigger the legendary power buff for Broly here. We are going to grab these orbs right here with you, and then we are going to grab the int orbs right here because we want to be able to be sure to get Janemba's support in here, because that's going to help everybody out with attack and defense, and that's going to work out pretty nicely for us here. So again, Broly in his domain, we should not have much to worry about. We should be good to go. 50,000 damage is nothing. We will eat that for breakfast and say thank you very much, right? That's sort of how I'm feeling about this. Now, when it comes to damage on this team, this one could be a little bit problematic. We'll see. This might not have been the best matchup for movie bosses because I don't think I brought any ceiling characters off the top of my head. So that could be a little bit of an issue. But if the super's only hitting for 50k with that domain and we're able to attack and defensive lower him, we should be good to go, especially with the Tech Janemba's EZA when that came out and stuff like that. So we should be fine here. Physical Janemba doing his thing, we'll take that for sure. Then we need to start thinking about who we want to use next. That's always the fun of this, right? You just got to be like, all right, next. So 6.9 million right there for Janemba. Not bad. We got his rainbow orbs. We got his typing orbs for the support. That's going to be looking pretty good for us. He's going to be doing multiple supers. He is an attack stacker, which is very helpful, but I don't know how helpful it's going to be in this environment. So next up, thinking either superheroes or Majin Buu Saga. That's probably what I'm going to go with. So what we're relying on here is our boy Janemba getting his dodges, right? That's going to be pretty big. We'll do this, and Tech Broly should do some pretty decent damage for us, so long as we can just survive this super that's probably coming in slot 1. Again, we are relying on Janemba to dodge it, and it looks like we should be good here. 13 million is going to be pretty good. His damage is going to be decent, right? Especially with those crits. That's going to be very helpful for us. So getting 2 supers right there is very nice. Looking good, looking good. Yeah, that was good damage and a bunch of dodges, right? We got uncontrollable power everywhere for this Bio Broly, so he's going to be okay as well. This Bio Broly also does debuff the enemy, so it's going to be helpful as well. It might not be on this super. I believe it's on the next one. Maybe not. Maybe I think that was an event that I was playing where like every hit was debuffing them. And I think I might have... Yeah, no, there it is. Yeah, I knew I wasn't crazy. Sometimes I trick myself into thinking I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so there we go. This super could be bad because type disadvantage, but I believe Broly has enough damage reduction here to the point where we should be okay. We're fine. Yeah, I was pretty confident at one point. I was like, yeah, we should be good. Okay, so next up, yeah, we'll do Majin Buu Saga next. That's what I'm thinking. And then Tech Broly here is putting in some good work for us. Superheroes is going to be sort of an interesting setup because of just the slot 1 environment that I have. Maybe what I could do, let me look at the typings real quick. Yeah, let's do this. And then what we'll do is I'm going to run the superhero setup here, and then we also have a backup team. So we're going to do this. And then for superheroes, it's Beast Gohan, it's the Gammas, it's Orange Piccolo, it's Gamma 1, Gamma 2, and the 5-year fusions. I think this actually can work out pretty well, but what we're really banking on is getting Beast right away. That's really what we're looking for here. We did not, but we do have some type advantage in the front there, and it's only 1 attack. I think we should be all right. Vegito, again, with that being a heal in slot 1, I'm actually kind of happy that it played out like that. And we really got Beast slot 7. That is really unlucky, like really unlucky. So Gamma 2 could potentially be problematic here. But this character can be stunned and sealed. Yeah, and that's a super right away. That's not good. We really needed Beast slot 1 and we didn't get it. How much is this going to do? 300,000? That's not that bad. It's a lot, but it's not that bad. I think it's a manageable number because we're going to have Orange Piccolo next turn in the first slot, and he's going to be fine, right? So that's sort of what I was concerned about. Gamma 2, as long as he does a bunch of supers. Yeah, and they do negate damage to a certain point. These Universe 6 Namekians, a little bit problematic here. This could be the first hurdle that we run into. But we did make a bunch of teams, so I believe I still have some backups that are going to work out pretty well here, and this is why you do this, right? Where this is probably looking like a loss because I chose the wrong team. But again, we can work around that, right? It doesn't mean just that the run is just straight up over. You guys need to crit, by the way. That's not doing 0 damage is not doing anything for us here, guys. Thank you. Do they double super? Maybe. We'll see. I'm learning on the fly with y'all here, so yeah, this is looking like an L, I'm thinking. So we gotta start thinking, like, what's next? What is next? Yeah. What you got for me? 0 damages across the board. No, but they're taking double digits on the normals. Yeah, so they're okay. This fight's not that hard. It's just that initial super got us because they caught us with our pants down there. So what I'm going to do here is put Gamma 2 in slot 2, or Gamma 1 in slot 2, excuse me. And we're going to grab these orbs because it doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to grab these ones here for the extra heal up. And then if Gogeta gets caught in slot 3, that means he could potentially dodge it. And then we also have Piccolo going with his guard as well. So that's going to be pretty helpful with us. We got the extra key there. We have the type advantage stuff going on. And then on the next turn, we're going to be okay because we have Beast Gohan in that first slot. And we're going to feel a lot more comfortable there than we did on the last turn. But Orange Piccolo, go ahead and put in some work for me, bud. Would be much appreciated. But the HP is where I'm sort of a bit concerned here. Orange Piccolo is going to be fine. He has guard going. He's got his defense built up. He took a couple hits. We should be okay here. Yeah. So now Gamma 1 doing his thing. It's sort of just whatever. He's not going to do any damage, and that's fine. But next up, it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm excited to see. I played this one like sort of half asleep, like when it came out like 3 or 4 days ago, right? When I was just kind of farming up some stones. So we'll see. I know it wasn't too bad, though. I know I beat it on my first try, so... Actually, no. The same thing that happened to me on that try happened to me on this one, where I got caught in slot 1, or turn 1, against Devilman, because that Devilman is a pain in the ass. So, yep, Gogeta's doing his thing here. Go ahead and dodge all these for us, partner. Thank you. So if we do see Gogeta again, he will be Gogeta Blue, and that's pretty helpful for us. We have the standby for the Gammas. Doesn't hurt to just proc it now. Now, what we're going to do here is grab these with Beast Gohan. We're going to grab these right here, and then we're going to get some extra key support for Vegito, so it doesn't hurt to grab these right here. He is going to be at only 15 keys, so that's not great. But Beast Gohan here, no worries whatsoever. Should be absolutely fine in this spot. Type advantage, Schmipe advantage. There we go. So that healing could be a little bit problematic now that I'm thinking about it, just because it's like we're not doing that much damage back, and that could be a bit of an issue. But I think especially if we get to like Gogeta Blue, we're going to be in a really good spot, right? So even if this does end up taking 5 turns, we should be okay. But thankfully, STR Beast Gohan is giving us some crits, which were much, much needed. So that is appreciated, kind of getting us through here. What do you got for me? 9.7 million. There we go. Okay, so the Gammas are starting to do a little bit of damage here as well. So that's helpful. And I believe one of these bosses also can dodge, and that's a pain in the ass, but I know that that can definitely happen. So very good damage there from the Gammas, just getting some crits in. We're sort of going with like the old school philosophy of when you're doing like a boss fight like this. It's like, okay, we need to do more damage on the turn than they're going to heal. So when they heal for, I believe it was 9.6 million. So as long as we're doing more than 9.6 million damage every turn, you know, it's a net positive for us in terms of getting out of the fight. So we can see here, we're doing some pretty good damage. I believe this was a double super, and Vegito didn't dodge it, but we have type advantage. We supered. We should be okay. Yeah, 74,000, not too bad. Now, we can go into Orange Piccolo, so you guys know what that means. That means the fight is over. Unless these do 0 damage, which is completely possible. So, we'll grab these with you, we'll grab these with you, and we're going to get the 18 key here with both, or the 24 key with one set there, and we should be good to go. So yeah, you guys can see those normals are not hitting very hard. So this shouldn't be too bad, right? 119,000 there. 3.5, unless they crit, they're probably not doing any damage, huh? Yeah, it might not be the win button that I thought it was. Yeah, definitely not. Okay. Good to know. So, yeah, that's a bit annoying, but at least he's getting a crit in and some hits here. You just need to crit, my dude. That's it. Just give me some crits and we're good to go. If nothing else, perform a critical hit for me, Piccolo. 3.3 mil there. Pretty good. No crit there. Hopefully with the 24 key, we get one, and this one as well, because, again, extra damage is just nice. The sooner we're out of here with this team that honestly isn't the best, the better. Like, obviously, I know we have Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo, but running the Gammas here, I'm not too keen on. I'll probably change that next time I play this, just to make sure that we don't do that again for the teams and stuff like that. So 3.6, if he wants to do an additional super and crit on both of these, we should be done. But you guys know it can never be easy, so he's probably not going to crit. He did not crit. Maybe this one will, but who knows? So that's just sort of how the cookie crumbles here. What do you got for me? No crit, so nice. Oh, another turn of it too. This is lovely. This is a Piccolo knows. He's like, yeah, man, you want a longer video? I'm like, sure, bro. Why not? You guys get to spend some more time with me. I hope you're having a beautiful Monday when you're watching this. That's when this is being uploaded. Today's been pretty good. We moved back to the house for the summer, so that's pretty fun. I have a different setup going here. We'll have the face cam probably for the next Zero to Hero episode, I'm thinking. So that'll be pretty good. It'll be pretty fun. I want to get back into streaming. I just have not found the motivation, I think is the word. I know y'all want to see it, and I got to remember that, where I got to stop thinking like, oh no, the game's dead, I shouldn't be streaming. But these are the times to stream and separate yourself, right? So that's definitely what I got to be doing. All right, can we come on with this tomfoolery, these shenanigans? It's like, of course, we got to watch this whole thing, and he's not going to crit. Yeah, he even critted for 0. Okay, don't give me a third turn at this, please. I'm begging you. Please, Orange Piccolo, do not proc for a third turn, please. Yep, come on. You got this, dude. I get it. Nice. Big boy damage, big booms. He's going to do a third turn, isn't he? He did. Okay, cool. Let's just throw and try not to do as many supers this time, just because I want to move on. So hopefully these are just nice and quick, just normals. Like, I just 9 turns of this is ridiculous. I forgot about the damage nullification. If I would have remembered that, I just wouldn't have swiped up. That is what I would have honestly done. Like, this is just to take the super away. Perfect. Only 1, no damage. So next turn, we're going to see Gogeta Blue, I believe it is. So that'll be helpful. Their HP is going to be below the threshold, so we'll be able to do the active skill. That'll be pretty fun. Hopefully we'll get the KO screen. You never know, though. Yeah, perfect. Who's attacking right now? Is it the third one? Yes. Okay, yeah, so we're almost done with this. Orange Piccolo, the video extender. He's like the Scott Foster of Dokkan videos, the extender. So we'll see. Perfect. Let me out of that. Jeez. Okay. So now we'll want to do this. The gammas being linked together, I guess, is nice. That'll be kind of helpful. We'll get some extra key when they hit Piccolo right here. Thank you. Nice 18 key. 12 million's not too bad. What do you got for me? An additional would be nice. I would appreciate that. 9.9. Not a normal. 0. Okay. So if we do have to resort to the backup team, we should be okay. But hopefully we just get out of this turn. Actually, no, I don't think we're going to be able to do the Gogeta Blue active skill, but he will be in blue. So we'll have that guaranteed dodging slot 1 and stuff like that. Because this isn't going to do any damage. So as long as they just tank the normals, we'll be fine here. The additionals are nice, I guess, but not really that important. So we shall see. What do you got for me here, Gamma 1? Show me something. 0. Okay. Some build-up, though. We'll take it. All right, Gamma 2, your turn, pal. It's either you crit or you do 0 damage. That's sort of where we're at right now, so your choice, my friend. Okay, he crit. Nice. All right, do that one more time for me. 7.3. If you crit, it's going to be some damage, and that's helpful. Yeah, this was an annoying fight. I would definitely recommend bringing one of your more damage-dealing setups into this one. For sure. Okay, we'll take that. Gamma 2 actually put in some work there. I can't be upset. And we'll look at Gogeta Blue. We'll take advantage of the guaranteed dodges, right? Why not? Oh, right, we get to look at the... actually, no, let's do this. This is kind of a rare KO screen if we get it. Yeah, nice. Oh, it's not a KO screen. That's right. That's right. It's the support memory. I'm thinking of the Legends LF. Duh. Okay, so yeah, 10 minutes on that fight was not what I had in mind. I hear some noise outside. So now what we want to do is Majin Buu Saga. So where I'm thinking this is actually going to be pretty helpful for Majin Buu Saga is when we get to Angel Vegeta sort of putting in damage here, right? So what we want to do is go tanks. We'll bring you, we bring you, we bring you, we bring you, and we bring you. All right, perfect. So Angel Vegeta, I think, actually has like a potential setup to just go absolutely nuclear here and do a ton of damage. And of course, well, this time he's actually not in slot 7, so we did get a little bit lucky there. We're going to go Gohan's damage reduction and guard right here. 1 second. Okay, we're good. I thought something was getting picked up. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then we're going to do this. Okay, perfect. So just don't super in slot 1 and we're good. Yeah. All right. So Gohan's going to be able to do his thing. And really all we need to do is just stall out until we get to Angel Vegeta in slot 3 or in turn 2, because that's just going to be a crazy amount of damage, right? Because he just gets like super high attack ceilings and stuff like that. And a battlefield boss is going to be pretty easy work for him, I think. I would imagine that would be the case. Yeah, so 10.8 there. Not too bad from this Goku. We're going to be seeing similar numbers from Vegeta, if I'm not mistaken. Crits there are always appreciated. We'll take the 10 million damage. Then 15 million, much higher from you. That's right. That's right. Cool. Okay. So next up, boom, 14 million. Nice. All right, and an additional. Ooh, okay. This is good damage. We need this bad. We need this bad. No crit there. Yeah, the crit would have been nice. That would have put us in a really good spot. And you're taking nothing here. I don't think this super is going to do 700,000. I can't imagine. Might do a little bit and won't do anything. All right, now we're going to put Angel Vegeta in slot 1 because we know that's not going to be a super. You link up just a tad bit better for attack stats, so we're going to grab these. We're going to grab the 24 key with you. We're going to do this to get the 24 key with you. And last but not least, we're going to do this and get not the 24 key with you, but the 23 key. That will be enough for them. So hopefully here, again, I think Angel Vegeta at 34 million should be doing a pretty good amount of damage here, but maybe not. You never know. So let's see. What do you got for me? 29 million there. No crit. If he does crit on one of these, I believe we are home free. This should be pretty simple for us. So let's see. 17 million. Nice. And then Go Tanks, I guess, can clean up. This super should do nothing. Did nothing to the Tech Vegeta. So this is type advantage with super. Yeah. We had guard. 17 million there. We're going to need a crit. I think this Gotenks has that, though. Yes, no, yes. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, see, so when I used a real team, quote unquote, and that was much quicker. So now we've made it to the final boss, if you will, right? And now that we've gotten here, we can use the best team in the game, and this is going to be pretty good, right? So what we are looking to do for this battlefield boss in specific, the sort of strategy that you want to be aiming to do is, this is where you actually want one of your characters in slot 7. So we're going to bring Vegeta, we're going to bring Vegito and Gogeta, we're going to bring the Year 7 fusions, we're going to bring the Super EZA fusions for support, and then last but not least, we are going to bring GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku here. And now, what we're looking for in specific against this Trunks, again, is one of the Year 7s in slot 7. This is actually very helpful for us because this is going to allow us to get that extra turn of 77% damage reduction that is critical in order to just have sustained tanking, right? So what's going to happen here is we're going to play this turn out, and then we are going to play the next turn, obviously. Then when we get to turn 3, we're going to have the 77% damage reduction on the LR gods, and then when we get to turn 4, we're going to have the LR Super Saiyan 4s that we can fuse with, and this is essentially, so long as we make it there, we're going to have that unlimited, basically, 77% damage reduction for Battlefield. Now, this is the only turn where slot 1, we're going to be naked, quote unquote, and we got very lucky with the attack spread because you guys can see that this Vegeta, he's super twice, we should be fine. What are we looking at here from Trunks? What are you thinking? 23 damage? Yeah, we're good. So again, with the way that this is set up, it's just we're never really going to be in too much danger. And we did get lucky with the attack spread, but I don't believe that Trunks would have ended up taking us out there. So now we're sort of just relying on crits to come through for us and stuff like that. But we have sort of gotten to where we need to be, where we can fuse with these characters if we need to. We can do the Ghost Ushers with the AGL Goku. We can do all of that fun stuff in order to take this down. So that is good. Very, very nice. Now what we want to do is keep these guys in slot 1. Again, cheese that 77% damage reduction. We'll grab these with you, get the 24 key, and then Gogeta does give key, I believe, when he is the 3rd character to grab an orbital in a turn. He gives 2. So that's good for you. And then they are at 77% damage reduction, so we have nothing to worry about here. We are not going to be taking damage, and we should be good to go. So 82 right there. And it would be nice to have them linked up with Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but, you know, sometimes you just got to get lucky. And in this case, we did get lucky with the damage reduction. But where this fight can become a bit of a pain is when you're in this situation right here, where your big damage attack, in this case, the 24 or the 18 key super attack for the LR4s, was dodged by Trunks. So this potentially can extend the fight. And in this case, when you're running a team like this, you're going to be able to have characters like Vegito and Gogeta, where it's like, okay, try and deal with Tech Vegito's damage, right? Like, be my guest, right? Dodge literally every single attack. And if he does, then he's just the man, right? And you guys can see right there, Trunks decided to be funny, and that was really good timing. Where again, we did lose out on that 18 key damage from Goku, because that was a 24 key super attack. That would have been a lot of damage for us, and we ultimately did not get it. This Gogeta here is going to put in some decent work for us as well, hopefully, doing crits, doing attack lowering, doing attack debuffing. This is exactly what we are looking for. So now, like I said, this is where the master plan comes in, because we now have the ability to put the LR gods in slot 1 on this next turn, and we have that damage reduction again. So even if he wants to be funny and super in slot 1, we are still good to go. So it's going to be very helpful for us, right? Just in the matter of getting this done. So I believe this next turn we should be good to go, right? We've sort of done everything we've needed to have done so far. Unfortunately, with the gods, it's not going to be a very good run for their damage, but again, their role on this specific turn is going to be their defensive prowess. More specifically, that damage reduction. Again, I'll emphasize it as many times as I need to. So overall, this is definitely an not too bad for Battlefield, right? You guys saw the only thing that really got us was that Devilman at the beginning, and I figured I could just leave that in, show you guys that these runs are not always perfect. I'm not just cherry picking the wins, just to show you. Overall, I don't think this mode's too bad, but again, if you are sort of like a player who does not have a ton of teams yet, don't worry about that as much. Just try and get as far as you can. If you can't beat the whole thing, that's fine. That's the whole point of progressing in the game, and the grind is fun. Building your account to be able to beat this is definitely satisfying, especially when you can do it consistently. Over the years, I think it's very fun. So that is something to keep in mind. The LR God's putting in some decent work for us here. I believe we're going to be going to next turn, so that's fun. I guess we'll do the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta active or something like that and get up on out of here. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of these longer form guides, right? This video is going to be like 45 minutes. That's typically much longer than what I do, but I figured it would just be fun to come on here, chat with you guys that also play Battlefield at the same time while walking you through it. I know it's a longer guide, but again, showing you the gameplay, and I think raw and unedited is good for this specific format of video where, you know, the only thing I was really cutting was just making my teams. So again, let me know what you guys think. Your feedback is really important. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like before you go. And if you also enjoy what you're seeing here, we upload every single day, so subscribe if you are new. I would appreciate that greatly. Helps the channel grow and all of that fun stuff. So hope you guys did enjoy this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. So you guys, I guess before I intro or do my outro here, you guys do get a decent bit of stones. And if you do clear this extra, there are the rewards. I already did it the first time, but I got 21 stones for it. But there you guys go. Thank you for watching. See you next time.